Playboi Carti is incredibly talented, and you know what? No, we're not going to talk about good things about this guy. He's a piece of trash. Let's be honest though, there's nothing worse than an entitled person who feels like others are beneath them just because they make more money or just because of how famous they are. And that's exactly who this guy is.
Dude, I'm sitting there. You're a celebrity.
And he's always been this way. Even before his career popped off, he was already the type of guy that was so rude that he would be on his cell phone throughout an entire interview. All three of these guys sat down for this content as a team, but whenever he wasn't able to talk about himself, he didn't give any sort of common courtesy to anyone in the room. So even before he popped off, he was already this entitled, insanely rude person. And then there's other interviews where he would show up so high that he would fall asleep during the recording of it. Basically wasting everyone's time, but like if you think he actually cares about that, he doesn't. In 2017, right in the middle of LAX airport, he gets into it with his girl at the time, Ruby Rose. He drags her by her backpack out of the terminal and throws her into an Uber. Right in the middle of the day of one of the busiest airports in America. The guy clearly has issues containing his anger because according to witnesses, they noticed marks on Ruby's chest, but another witness also claimed that she started slapping him as well. Look, you can view this however you want, but I'm from the school of you don't hit women. We can turtle, we can run, like there's lots we can do. Anyways, the guy skates off clean from this incident as he was initially charged with battery, but they eventually dropped the case. We don't really know why it got dropped. It could be because she hit him too. I don't know. I even found an old clip of academics reacting to this where he couldn't have been more wrong because he said Playboi Carti would likely learn from the whole thing.
Not gonna know. Hopefully he'll learn, and I believe he will, because I mean, once you get locked up, you gotta pay $20,000 for bail. I don't think you'll continue those actions. I hope.
He's not wrong because people do genuinely learn, but I don't think this guy has that part of his brain. He doesn't have that. Usually when something like this happens in such a public place where the only reason why the cops were called is because witnesses nearby did it for them, you can best believe a lot more happens behind closed doors, and Ruby Rose would later share another disturbing story.
She had mentioned about him pulling out a gun during an argument.
Yeah, and shooting at her.
You guys got into an argument and he pulled out his gun and...
Oh, I don't want to get into the...
Okay.
I don't know.
Well, he allegedly shot off his gun.
A gun did get, yeah.
Imagine being that big of a pussy that you had to haul out a gun to intimidate a chick and shoot in her direction to like try and scare her. What a loser. And you know damn well the minute anything like this goes public, the crisis management team is on speed dial.
So we got the cease and desist from his lawyers. So if you guys think that you could get this taken down by trying to legally scare me, you're bugging right now.
I said something about him shooting at her one time and Pierre showed up in my DMs like, why are you bringing that shit up?
And I think you're going to see the same thing for the new charges that he's got, where you're going to see there's going to be a cleanup attempt made. For example, a month ago, I made a video about Metro Boomin, and in that video, I showed clear evidence of just how innocent he was in that sexual assault case. And because my video painted Metro in such a positive light, his team literally paid several social pages to post clips of my video. Because my video made Metro look good, they actually paid to have that get circulated. Right? And that just goes to show how things work behind the scenes. Like, a lot of times these paid posts have an agenda and something's being pushed, so be mindful of it. However, not only does he not respect women, but allegedly producers as well, where one of them hit him up for a payment, and this was how the convo went. Bro, you stole from me and I wanted credit and royalties and to work. You're tripping, stop hitting me up. I'ma fine you, little bitch. Fuck everybody who love you. You a peon. And that's how this guy thinks. Like, a producer to him, that's way beneath him. And you'll see that he looks at a lot of people like this. Just like in 2019 when Playboi Carti assaulted his tour bus driver, because when the bus broke down and the driver wasn't able to fix it, Carti threw an all-out temper tantrum because the replacement bus that they were going to give him wasn't as luxurious. So he attacked the driver. How dare they do that? Like, the audacity of someone to downgrade the great Playboi Carti's tour bus. One of the other bus drivers said the following: I saw things being thrown around the tour bus, and then a man ran across and punched the driver in the face, cutting him and knocking his glasses off. This was a 24-year-old millionaire assaulting a 50-year-old bus driver. And even though his managers on the bus tried to do everything possible to twist the story in Carti's favor, he was ultimately found guilty of this and paid a measly 800 euros. You know, I'm sure he learned his lesson. I'm sure we'll never see an example of him assaulting another service worker again. And it turns out that even if the woman is someone that he went halves on a baby with, that doesn't gain any respect either. According to Iggy Azalea, who is the mother of one of his children, she wasn't even allowed to tell anyone that she was pregnant because he said it would interfere with his album rollout.
I never wanted to keep my pregnancy hidden the whole time. I thought once I started showing that I would be able to announce it and be happy, but this man kept saying that he was dropping an album and that he didn't want my baby announcement to interfere with his album.
She's acting like it's my problem she got pregnant, like during my album. According to Iggy, the guy's a deadbeat father, a narcissist, a habitual cheater, and she said that he's so self-absorbed that instead of being in the hospital to see their child's birth, he decided to be in a completely different state to play PlayStation. Most men will crawl through glass to get to the hospital for that moment, but for him, this is just a regular day. Iggy also said that Carti talked so poorly to her and treated her so badly that she literally had to cut off contact with him. And once again, according to her, his team is constantly hitting her up. They're trying to keep her quiet. Point blank, the guy just doesn't care for anyone but himself. And we've seen full-on proof of this as he's been arrested multiple times for driving up to triple the speed limit.
You're doing 133 down the highway in the HOV lane, putting everybody's life in jeopardy because you want to go to the airport?
Some might say this is just a speeding ticket, but no, this is a pattern of behavior where, like, this is not a kid. This is a 30-year-old man. This is the type of shit you do as a kid. And he's done this multiple times now. It was literally just months after that arrest where he got arrested for doing the exact same thing again, driving double the speed limit in an area where tons of people were walking around.
We got a lot of people that's walking around. Somebody always you hit them. That's going to be vehicle homicide charge. You're not coming back from that.
And don't use the, oh, it's a nice car excuse, because the guy's 30. Like, a lot of us have driven nice cars. Anyways, once he moved on from his alleged abuse with Ruby Rose and Iggy Azalea, Playboi Carti found himself another target, as back in December of 2022, he allegedly grabbed his 14-week pregnant girlfriend by the throat, pushed her into the bushes, and held her neck until she couldn't barely breathe. And a police report said she had visible marks on her neck, her chest, and her back. So Carti gets hit with a felony assault charge and also another charge for hindering a person from making an emergency call, as when his girlfriend tried to call the police, he attacked her again. And for this one, we actually got body cam footage.
And he just ran up on me and grabbed me by my neck, pushed me down on 30. And they all, like, when I'm trying to call the police, they're like dragging me out of my car and covering my mouth, and I'm just like, I don't know what to do at that point.
She even shows the scratches on her back from when he pushed her into the bushes.
Yeah. Can you change the address?
I couldn't tell but it just hurt right now.
So, I mean, what do you think happened to this girl? Like, how did that get on her back? Why is her back all scratched up? You think she's lying? Another thing that I noticed in this footage is that it was a pure example of the power dynamic that we see in these sorts of abusive relationships, where the girl is continuously made to feel guilty for exposing these sorts of details because it might tarnish his legacy.
It's just hard because they always like hold it against me, like, oh, you really want to ruin this person, like.
It's not holding it against you if he attacked you.
I know, but it's still like a part of me that's just like, this is my kid's dad, and it's hard, you know?
I understand.
This is really common, and it's exactly how pieces of shit like him get away with this for so long. And when it came to this incident, even Iggy Azalea responded with a tweet saying, "Been there, done that, warned you." But because you like his music, that must mean all these women are lying, right? With that said, the abuse didn't even end there, as just 2 days ago, he was arrested for assaulting another service worker, this time a limo driver. Allegedly, Playboi Carti and his girlfriend were fighting in the back of the limo, and it got so crazy that the driver decided to intervene. Apparently, everyone got out of the vehicle, and the driver said Playboi Carti got upset and hit his girlfriend. So again, we have another one. The driver said he didn't see Carti hit the girl, but said she was hunched over holding her chest, and then when the driver wasn't looking, Playboi Carti sucker punched him. And that's a major bitch move from a major bitch. So basically the limo driver was just trying to stop the chaos, but in Playboi Carti's mind, that guy was hired to serve him. He's just a peon driver. He shouldn't speak unless Carti's yelling out a demand to him. People like this are beneath him. Like, that's how he thinks. Like, they're here to serve the great Playboi Carti. I'm a superstar. You're just a driver. At the end of the day, this guy is an asshole to his fans. He has no regard for anyone with a regular job who's just trying to put food on their table. He has no regard for public safety. He's a serial abuser of women. And he's so selfish and entitled that he doesn't even care about his own kids. Literally every other year, this guy is being accused of putting his hands on a female. The dude's clearly got a lot of issues, clearly some mental health problems, and if he doesn't get it in check, he's going to keep repeating the same cycle over and over again. Someone is going to get severely hurt, and he's going to end up in prison for way longer than he wants to be in there, because the guy does have a lot of talent and he can redeem himself, but clearly there needs to be some therapy. He needs to sit down with someone. It's really sad because there are so many talented musicians that deserve to be in that place that he's in and would do great things with it. But instead, these are the types of people that we give our energy to. These are the types of people that are famous when he clearly doesn't deserve these things.